good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Dima, sad music! Unfortunately, today I am reporting about the memorial service or funeral of Brother Takeoff from the Migos. In the hip-hop world has been distraught the last 9 to 10 days, I believe the last week and a half rather. And again, my condolences go out to the fallen brother, to the fans of the Migos, to the whole Atlanta metropolitan area. And today I want to focus on what Quavo had to say. He had a lot to say. Some of that being, in tears, obviously, and Brother Drake has something to say. But I want to take this time to play this clip, and then I'm going to come back and give some more commentary.
You always with me, and we did everything together. Since we was kids, you been by my side, looking up at me with them eyes, same eyes you got as my sister. Waiting on me to make the next move, then you followed up right behind me. You always made sure I did it first, so you can do it right with me. You never competed with me. We was always on the same team because you hated playing against me because I always played too hard or too rough. And I can hear mama saying, not too rough, son, because I ain't like to lose. Remember our first dream was to be tag team partners in the WWE. We fell in love with WWE wrestling. We had every...
So brothers, we heard what was said there. I'm only wanting to focus on the part of the competition, right? And he was talking about how they had dreams of going and becoming a WWE wrestlers. At the time I was growing up, it was called WWF. And he was saying that Takeoff never tried to compete with him. And that's something that I want to talk about today as African-American men, as black men. One of the reasons as brothers, why we can't have what we need to have. We are really trying to compete against each other when it's not necessary. All right. And I really want to talk to us as black men about that, because, I was looking at the downfall of the Wu-Tang Clan. We've seen Offset, Quavo, and Takeoff. Obviously Offset, he left the group, but you see it a lot of times, the situation with Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam, and certain situations, Ralph Abernathy and Martin Luther King. There's always some sort of competition between us as brothers, and it don't need to be that way. And I've learned that just here on YouTube. I'm not the perfect YouTuber, but one thing I would say about me is when Brother Kevin Samuel started to ascend to a level that I still have never reached and probably will never reach, you just didn't see me trying to compete with our brother. You just didn't see that. And it was mutual. Shout out to Obsidian, it was the same way. As black men, we get so much further by trying to be allies to each other and not trying to always compete. Instead of trying to compete, why don't we just specialize? You know what I mean? And that's something that I want black men to understand. You are trying to compete against people who you should be trying to help. And we need to educate our black men. Hey, what's the competition about? Okay? What's the competition about? We can all help each other. We all have different skill sets. What Quavo does, Brother Offset doesn't do. And what Brother Offset does, Takeoff don't do. And what Takeoff does, certain people they play different roles. Even though Brother Takeoff didn't have the notoriety at Quavo Offset, he was the heart and soul of the group. Draymond Green ain't always the person to get all the points. He never does that, but he's the heart and soul historically of the Golden State Warriors. He's the engine that makes a team go. And he's okay with that because we win. In order for black men to have a winning culture in the black community, anywhere in Africa, we have the same problem. A big man's culture going on in Africa. Shout out to Brother Obsidian because it's there. We have to have a culture of saying, the market is big enough for everybody. The situation is big enough for everybody. I don't have to compete with the brother because what I can do, he can do. We can come together and do something great. Everybody can win. Opportunities are so vast. Everybody can win. How do we know? We see everybody else doing it. The Chinese doing it. The Indians doing it. The Jews doing it. Okay? Competition is good for certain things. But we all have positions to play. And as we help our brothers get into the game, we get more. I'm gonna tell you this. Brother Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. This is in 2020, but a little before. I remember when he had 10,000 subscribers, right? Because it was a night that we was on the Hall of Game, and I stayed on the line that day until we got him to 10,000. And I had forgot about it, and he had mentioned to me about a year ago. Now he has 600,000 subscribers. And guess what? I don't have to ask the brother to shout me out. And I get all the time people saying, you know what? I come from Mediocre Tutorials. He shouted you out. Same thing with the lead attorney. He almost as big as me now. The Pocket Watching with JT Kevin Simmons. It came back. Why should I compete with the lead attorney? He's an attorney. We don't even have the same skill set. Pocket Watching with JT is an accountant. I don't have a reason to compete with them. These are our people. And that's why the Migos were able to build until, the situation was Offset, because it ain't always necessary to compete. Get in there with your brothers and make something happen. I try to inspire black men here on this channel. Brothers, some of y'all have met up in Indianapolis. Some of y'all have met up in Baltimore just for coffee, and see what these black men bring to the table and start helping your brothers. I'm telling you, man, start helping black men. Watch where it takes you. You'd be surprised how many brothers help you back. And we'll go. We have so many good black men out there like Takeoff that have that. I know brothers, you might not like what he rapped about and all that stuff, but from what I'm hearing, how much love he had, it's because of the personality. We don't always got to be the big man on campus to be the big man on campus. Sometimes the big man on campus don't even run his mouth. And this is what we're missing. We have too many black men that don't want to compete with the white man for nothing, but will come in and hate on his brother. Hate. Sit there and say slick stuff like, oh, well, I'm not hating, but such and such. Yeah, you are hating because you jealous. You jealous as hell. And you mad. You mad as hell. Jealous, dusty. And again, you rather to hate on your own people than to work with your people. And that's what you need to do. So again, rest in peace, Takeoff. I hope some of us will have his spirit in working with our men to try to achieve things. Well, guys, subscribe, hit the bell. Check out the freaking to the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains all-time high. I'm out.